from Texas.
Let me. There's just a whole litany of things that I think have been mentioned today that are so very important. One, I want to again emphasize, when you invest in America, you create jobs. Look what is happening to the auto industry, and I'm far away from the auto industry. I happen to be in Texas, but I can assure you that I can point to a auto dealership was alive today because we said yes to manufacturing and owning businesses and keeping the doors open. Now these same auto dealership, which by the way is an American-made cars, GM, is expanding, is refurbishing, will be hiring new people, will be selling more cars because we were engaged. And I think the point about that we have to create jobs to reinvest in this community points again to preserving Medicare, which is not being done by our friends. Certainly the vote that we had today has nothing to do on debt ceiling, had nothing to do with preserving Medicare and Medicaid. And I truly believe there is a nexus, there is a connection. Invest in America, create jobs, have revenue return back to the economy, bring down the debt, and watch America churn like an engine that is purring and doing better. We can make it in America. We can applaud our manufacturers. We can grow them. And I think the investment in America's auto industry is evident by all of the jobs being brought back home. Let me end by saying to all of those who can hear us, American manufacturers, American corporations, bring your jobs back home and participate with Democrats in their serious effort to enhance making it in America and creating more opportunity. You are better off here. You can watch your company grow, and you can support the continued growth of America and opportunities for small businesses and the young people who are now coming out of our many colleges and schools ready to work. I yield back to the gentleman.
I thank the gentlelady, and I thank you for your passion on this issue, and again for restating the urgency of job creation and getting the American people back to work as our #1 priority. The Make in America agenda will help do that by restoring making things again and understanding it has to have a central place in rebuilding our economy, by building an environment in which American manufacturers can grow and create jobs and making sure our businesses are competitive all across the world. Many of our Make in America bills have won bipartisan support. And now we can win bipartisan support in the new Congress when we work for stronger job training partnerships, fight for a fair playing field for American exporters, and holding China and our other trading partners accountable for currency manipulation and unfair trade practices. But Make in America also means recommitting ourselves to the future of America's middle class by ensuring that we are out-educating, out-innovating, and out-building our competitors. We, of course, have to cut wasteful spending, fiscal responsibility, while making priority investments that are necessary to keep our nation competitive. And as the gentleman from California has just put forth that board, which really does describe the issues that are part of the Make It in America agenda, focusing on fair trade policies, tax policies which support job creation and American manufacturing, that give American manufacturing the tools they need to succeed, energy policies that will increase investments in renewable energy, clean energy, to make American manufacturers more competitive, labor policies, educational investments, protection of intellectual property, and investments in infrastructure. Those are really the outlines of what we know we have to do to really support making it in America, to support manufacturing, and to support rebuilding and strengthening the middle class of this country. And I yield back to the gentleman from California.
Mr. Cicilline, if anyone understands the history and the importance of manufacturing, it's a gentleman from Rhode Island. The Black River down through Rhode Island was the very first place that America started its manufacturing base, using water as a source. And today, as we look to the future of American manufacturing, we do have to deal with the energy issues. And we probably should take a full night here and just talk about how the American economy can benefit from a new energy strategy. Tax policies, we've discussed here a little bit. One of the things we didn't discuss on tax policy was that we put forth a bill last year that took away $12 billion of subsidies that American corporations had when they shipped jobs offshore. I have no idea how such a incredibly stupid policy got into the tax code, but it did. It's gone. It was a Democrat agenda to eliminate those tax subsidies that shipped jobs offshore. Unfortunately, not one Republican joined us in eliminating that crazy tax subsidy. He's now back to help deal with the deficit. Labor policies, education, another full night can be taken on just education. We talked a little bit about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, the STEM programs, but it's much, much more. It's the re-education of our workforce. Intellectual property, research, how you protect that, critically important. We did have a good discussion about infrastructure. This is our agenda. This is the American agenda. This is the agenda about the future, and it is so much an important part of dealing with the deficit. There's not an economist out there that tells us we can actually deal with the deficit unless we get people back to work. And the people that we want to get back to work is American middle class. The American middle class needs to be rebuilt along with our manufacturing base, and we can do it with a set of policies that we're putting forth here. We ask for our Republican colleagues to join us on these smart pieces of legislation. Mr. Cicilline, this is your night. You've led us in this. I yield back my remaining time for your closure.
Thank you. I thank you, the gentleman from California, for your leadership on this and for your participation tonight. And I thank the gentlelady from Alabama and from Hawaii and from Texas for joining us as well. I'll just end by saying you're right. Rhode Island was really the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. And when you look at the role manufacturing played in the early days of our country's economy, of the industrial age, Rhode Island played a really important role. And from Woonsocket to Providence to Newport to Pawtucket, we have examples of great manufacturing facilities. And what we need to do is put in place the tools and the policies that can rebuild that strength, in not only in Rhode Island, but all across this country, that takes advantage of the great American ingenuity, of the great American innovation, and the great American entrepreneurship to make the best products, to solve the new challenges of the 21st century, to build products and to sell to the world, to create jobs as we sell American-made products all across the world. And we can do it. We have the best workers. We make the best products. What we need are policies at the national level that recognize this is a key part to rebuilding our economy, a key part to the rebuilding of the American economy, and understanding that we can make things again in this country. And by doing so, we can ensure that American families make it again in America. And I thank the gentleman again. And I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman from Rhode Island yields back.